6:48 top stories here in your Smart Start for Thursday. Happening tonight, there is a vigil for the man from Pittsford who was shot and killed in Washington 1 week ago.
Yes, such a terrible tragedy, and his remembrance is being held at the St. Bonaventure University, where Ryan Rilbuto had just graduated from last year. Ron Spitzer joining us live in the studio this morning, sharing how Ryan's being remembered. Ron.
Students, faculty, and friends will gather tonight to honor the life of Ryan Rilbuto during the candlelight vigil. The Pittsford native was murdered in D.C. last week during an attempted robbery. No arrests have been made. Police are offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. He was serving with a volunteer group while in the nation's capital. His mother spoke with me on Sunday and explained how tight-knit their family was and says their unit is forever broken.
We were so balanced before, the five of us. We were just a balanced, solid unit. And we're not that unit anymore. There's a missing link. There's a missing piece. People talk about this pain when you lose a child, and I had no idea of what that pain was. There's no word for it in the dictionary. None.
The school is live streaming the vigil, and it is being held at the University Chapel in Doyle Hall at 5:30. As for services, calling hours are tomorrow, and his funeral is Saturday in Pittsford. Brennan, Michaela.
Ron, thank you.
Yes, certainly. Thank you so much. Now, we're hearing again from more people with the Perinton, the Pines of Perinton complex, since they say they're fed up with the many issues. Now, at a board meeting last night in the town, they shared those frustrations with what they call unlivable conditions. News 8 reporting on the Pines of Perinton several times over issues like a fire, displacing families, rodent-infested water. And the people there saying there's even more issues yet unseen and promises not being fulfilled.
How does it feel to sit in a warm, comfortable room? If you washed your hands, was it nice to have warm water? These are things the residents in the Pines have been without or have been intermittent. Can you imagine enduring sub-zero temperatures without heat and hot water?
News 8 speaking with wind companies for a response. They got back to us with this statement, quote, "This is a complex project, and we appreciate the patience residents have shown as we deliver long overdue improvements to their homes and their property. There are no known code enforcement issues currently, but as always, we encourage residents to bring maintenance concerns to the attention of staff so that they can be addressed promptly," end quote.
It has been decades since the disappearance of Brian Sullivan. The child man was just 19 years old when he was last seen. His family is looking for closure even after all these years. He disappeared July 8th, 2007, last seen at the Burger King on Chili Avenue. It was determined early on that the case would be investigated as a homicide. In 2016, the lead suspect, Derek Murray, died from natural causes. Despite this, deputies say they believe Murray's family and acquaintances have information that would lead to the whereabouts of Sullivan's remains.
If they were to come forward with their full name and everything, they cannot be charged, they cannot be criminally prosecuted for anything involving his death. It's just, we just want to know where Brian's remains are so that the family can have closure. They already know who killed him. Just come forward with where his body is so that we can help the Sullivan family.
The family is offering a reward for the information that could lead to his remains. Anyone with details is asked to reach out to the sheriff's office.
A day of action for Planned Parenthood's fight for reproductive rights in New York State, happening on Wednesday, as this week marks 51 years since the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision. Now, ever since that ruling was overturned in 2022, Planned Parenthood and other groups have been fighting for access to reproductive rights in New York State and across the country. Now, among those things that Democrat state leaders and advocates say they're calling for is better sex education for young adults. There's also a shortage of workers, not enough Medicaid dollars. That is according to some advocates. Now, some of the reasons that nursing homes say they are struggling to meet the demand. Now, News 8 reporting last week, Strong Hospital reached a record number of patients due to a lack of availability in nursing homes, not due to lack of space, though. Officials tell us it's because there aren't enough nursing home workers to take care of the patients, while the nurses themselves say many of these issues stem from the pandemic. The vice president of a local healthcare union says increasing Medicaid funding and reimbursement rates has to be a priority. Next month, some Rochester Union members will head to Albany as they say they'll demand an increase in Medicaid reimbursements for hospitals.
This community is rallying around a local basketball coach after his family home was destroyed 24 hours ago in that 3-alarm fire we were covering this time yesterday. That was off Benton Circle in Perinton. Everyone inside did make it out safely. The home belongs to Craig Howell, the Fairport JV basketball coach for the boys team. Other coaches around Section 5 are asking their parents and fans going to games coming up in the next few days to bring gift cards with them to support the family, and they'll get them where they're needed. Authorities are still trying to determine the official cause of that house fire.
We're now halfway through the school year, and many districts are still struggling to get enough school bus drivers. To help ease this problem, the state lifted some of their requirements, including the under-the-hood test. That requires drivers to know every single piece of the engine. Now, school leaders reassure, they say that the safety of children will not be compromised due to this exemption, and it's set to expire November 27th. That is why they're now trying to say they want to make this permanent.
The Seneca Park Zoo is coming to life with a new virtual zoo book. Golisano Children's Hospital, the zoo, and the tech company Ryco got together to make Sandy and Friends, a virtual adventure book that brings the animals right to your living room. This book was originally made to bring the zoo to sick kids who were in the hospital, unable to go see the animals in real life. More than 250 copies were given to patients at Golisano, and although it's helped one local hospital, the organizers here want to expand their reach.
Our vision is to try to bring children's zoo books like this to children's hospitals across the country, with Golisano's and Seneca Park Zoo being the first ones. And I'm based here in Rochester myself. You know, it was important for us to really get the project all the way through before we take any of those next steps.
You get to scan the QR code located next to each animal, and then an augmented version of it shows up right there next to you. You see how it works here, and then you can find out fun facts about all the animals they have at our zoo. Just a great campaign there. Sunrise traffic as we get ready to talk to James about your final forecast. We've been checking the conditions all morning, the view over downtown. How about that? Visibility, not great. Be safe headed out there. The good news is the expressway is looking all clear as you got that morning fog. And James, this is not just for people by the bay, not just for people in the Finger Lakes, statewide.
Most of the, right, and you got it all the way down to Texas as well. There's a lot of other areas. So, Michaela, you've been keeping track. How many times have we said the word fog this morning?
62.
There you go. Yeah, I guess.
I took the under.
Right, exactly. Amazing.
Hey, we might still get a few in.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Look, that's the headline for today. We want you to be careful as you head out the door. You're on the road, and those brake lights come up real quick when you are dealing with fog. So just about a quarter-mile visibility in Rochester right now. You see it in Sodus, Batavia, Canandaigua, through the Finger Lakes there as well. And it's not just going to be gone when the sun comes up at 7:30. It will likely linger for a lot of this morning and into this afternoon. Rain chances crank way up as we get into your Friday morning. Some downpours there as we head into the final day of the work week. Saturday looks dry as of right now, and then we'll track that storm system for Sunday to bring us a bit of a mix.
Yeah, maybe some more flakes on the way there.
Oh, yeah, just a few. Well, thank you so much for sharing your morning with us here, everyone.
CBS Mornings next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.